What's up, GOAT fam? Hope you guys have a wonderful day or start to your day wherever you are in the world. In this video, I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks on the GOAT AutoPilot automation software program. So first things first, I'm going to dive right in is, if you guys didn't know, we're going to be releasing an update to fix this issue. But right now, in this beta version, every 10 hours, you'll be forced to log out of GOAT AutoPilot. So to prevent this, for example, let's say if you're starting to automate for the night, if you're starting to automate at like 7 p.m. or 9 p.m., it's best to log out at 9 p.m. or 7 p.m., then log in back in. Once you log back in, it'll reset the timer for that 10-hour time frame. So what, you sleep mostly 8 hours, 9 hours a day, wake up before that 10-hour ends, and you log out again and you log back in. So you reset that clock basically for that 10 hours. So that's a way to go about this. So it prevents you from being kicked out because the license keeps make sure that your license are registered and everything like that, and it automatically kicks you out every 10 hours to make sure that you have the right licenses for the software to access and automate and stuff like that. But we're going to be fixing that. Instead, we'll be removing that, either making that it force logs you out at 4:30 p.m. EST, basically during market close out time, or that it doesn't do that at all. Instead, it just checks your license automatically, and if you cancel your subscription or something, or fail payment or any source like that, it will automatically remove your license. You have no access to automating at all or any strategies at all. Another tip here is that when you launch a broker source here, let's do an example here for Blue Knox. There's a bug currently. So I'm going to show the bug here. So right now it shows, all right, shows this. So on ultra fast execution, for example, I'm going to do example here, example. And then select the broker, Blue Knox, show broker. There we go, select account. Right now, one of the bugs is that we're not able to automate account switching yet. Soon that will happen. It's best not to automate account switches inside ultra fast execution because it ignores that, because we're prioritizing speed over anything. And then contract switching as well. I would say don't switch the contracts. If you're trying to execute between multiple strategies in ultra fast, I would say stick to one strategy and use a copy trader with inside of Project X to copy trade one strategy across all your accounts and everything like that. So I set the contract here. It's set to ultra fast. Create strategy. Okay. So here's the bug. Okay. Keep an eye on basically the NQ ticker and the NQ ticker on the chart. So when you pay attention to that, I'm gonna hit buy here, and it's gonna execute on M and Q as the first signal. So every time you log out or reboot the program or software, it's gonna execute on M and Q for some reason. That's a bug we're currently trying to fix right now as ASAP as possible before we release this to the public. So just keep in mind this is what's gonna occur. So I'm gonna hit buy right now. As you can see, some reason it executed on M and Q when it shouldn't have. So a way to fix this is, right, you go back in here, set the contract to NQ, set that to NQ, set the number of contracts you try to execute, hit edit here, set the contract again in here to NQ. Let's go NQU, contract is set, hit update strategy. Now I'm gonna test the signal again here. Now it perfectly executed on a NQ short. As you can see, perfectly fine. Execute the NQ short and execute perfectly fine on NQ short long as well. So it works perfectly fine. So that goes to show you the first signal that always comes in is going to always execute on M and Q for some reason for ultra fast. We're currently fixing that bug right now. But however, if you do regular, it will execute perfectly to that contract size, to that contract within here. So let's say I'm going to do M and Q, right? I set to M and Q here. There we go, set to regular, update strategy. Due to our algorithm that does the checks and balances within here, it'll execute the contract within what's checking. So it relays it back to GOAT AutoPilot. See, it makes execution order and all that sorts. As you can see, hit the cell, and executes the order that way too. So it does the checks and balancing system. So it's a bit slower, but it still executes the contract. And then if you switch to NQ, automatically switches to NQ as well. There we go. There we go. Hit a cell here. As you can see, immediately it executes a contract cell order. As you can see, boom, done. So it works perfectly fine. But however, there's another bug as well, is that currently the number of contracts set in here won't execute from basically from the alert over to here. So I think it's a bug right now, but I'm not pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's not really. If I test right now, let's say, right, let's go to trading view. So you set the number of contracts in here in trading view, for example. So let's say I'm doing a rapid fire right now. If you set the number of contracts in here to 4 or 5, it'll execute the number of contracts from the alert you created from here to your project X, basically execute to 4 contracts. So add like the 4 contracts in there and execute 4 all at once, basically. So change the contracts for you. But ultra fast, it can have an error. We're currently trying to fix that as well right now. So just be very cautious like that. I would just say set the number of contracts that you're trying to execute overnight so that you don't run into that error, just in case. That's all. And that's one of the bugs right there. So I just want to make sure everybody knows this bug is going to be fixed ASAP. We're going to fix this, and so it'll be flawless executions and sort of like that, and seamless. We're going to do some feature rollouts so that it improves the execution between the contract switching and the contracts, number of contracts as well. Another thing too is that in settings, you go here, you can refresh and stop the tunnel. So to make sure you're connected to our custom webhook tunneling system. And you also can test out the webhook, the executions from here as well. Just know that it's going to execute to MNQ first time when you log in and reboot the application. So just be very cautious of that. So just I would do a test signal during the daytime or during the market close before anything and execute it across that way. But overall, this should you should be good if you're running ultra fast after executing the first signal and changing the contract manually in here, setting the number of contracts and updating the strategy. Make sure it's the default contract is NQU25. You should be all set. And then if you ever get any notifications, there will be some notification here. See, please verify your webhook configuration. So it means like it received a signal from TradingView, but I guess it wasn't turned on inside of here. So that's why there's no execution across or anything like that. So GOAT AutoPilot didn't have the strategy within here. So I just basically removed it and test to see if this alert notification center works at all. So, and it does work. So if you guys ever get a notification, check this out so you know what the issue is so you can fix it and sorts. But yeah, that's basically all the tips and tricks that I have for you in here. If you want to also hide the broker so you can execute still, it'll still execute trades across the broker to there. That's hidden behind the desktop, so it doesn't appear anywhere, nowhere at all, but it'll still execute the trades. But yeah, those are the tips and tricks. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to help you guys out. See you guys.